So we just finished a beautiful wedding ceremony, our wedding ceremony. We were now husband and wife. And so we arrived to our honeymoon oceanfront suite. Everything was beautiful. And so, I'm expecting, well, you know what I'm expecting, right? This is the first night we get to consummate our love as husband and wife. We were able to open the curtains and look at the waves crashing right outside of the window. I mean, when I say perfect, everything was perfect. And so as the evening is coming near, I'm getting the candles and the wine and the chocolates, the grapes. I have everything perfectly lined up. And so, of course, I'm expecting these feelings of arousal and anticipation to overtake us like newlyweds who can't keep their hands off of each other. And so, I'm waiting. And so, as the night gets closer, you know what never happened? Those feelings never came. That arousal, that anticipation until you can't keep your hands off of each other. Yeah, that's what I was expecting, but it never came. I mean, I didn't understand, but don't worry, we consummated our love as husband and wife and finished a beautiful 10-day honeymoon on the resort. But when I got back home, I told my best friend, I said, you know what? I don't know if I can do this every day. I don't know if I can do this. I need to work on being a better wife. I mean, I'm 18 years old. What do I know? And so years in our marriage go by and we're struggling in the bedroom department, right? And the struggle was we didn't know how to build intimacy in our marriage. I thought because we were having sex, we were automatically building intimacy, but there would be nights I would be right next to my husband in the bed with my husband and feel miles and miles apart. Well, my name is Leona Carter, and I empower women to build intimacy with their husband through the power of dating again. My husband and I, we've been married for 25 years and we have 6 children, and it has not always been easy building intimacy in our marriage. But I'm going to give you 3 tips that you need to start the journey of building intimacy with your husband. Now, you see, the issues that I had, I didn't know it was me. I didn't know it was an issue. And so we would go year after year and struggle, and we could not connect, even though we were physically and sexually connecting, but there was an emotional disconnect, and I did not understand why. Well, one day I finally talked to my gynecologist. I finally got the guts to say, you know what? I need help in my bedroom. And so as I'm struggling to tell my doctor, he did tests and things like that. And they said, well, there's a reason why you're feeling the way you're feeling. You're actually emotionally imbalanced and hormonally imbalanced. Emotionally, hormonally, what does this mean? So it means that the transmitters, the hormones in my body didn't fire like everybody else. And so in addition to that, they ran more tests and they found out I had lupus and rheumatoid arthritis. What? I I was I couldn't believe it. Like lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, and I'm hormonally imbalanced. No wonder it's so hard for me to connect in the bedroom. But that's not all. They sent me home with 13 medications, including a shot in my stomach every single day. Now, you know what? I knew, wait, this is not what I signed up for. How am I supposed to foster intimacy in my marriage when I don't even have the wiring that prepares me to do so? Do you understand what I'm talking about? And so what I found out is I had to be intentional about prioritizing intimacy in my marriage, because what I expected to happen was I would always feel like connecting with my husband. I mean, listen, I married a great guy. It was never him, right? I knew from the wedding night something wasn't right, but I didn't know what that was. And so I had to really be intentional about 3 keys that I'm going to share with you to build intimacy in my marriage. Now, first of all, your awareness of the problem can't be bigger than your actions to solve the problem. And so since I knew that, the first thing that we did was let go of what we expected of each other and actually communicate our expectations. We had to let go of what we expected of each other because we never communicated it to each other. And once we start doing that, then I didn't have to be disappointed time after time. He didn't have to be disappointed time after time about expectations that the other knew nothing about. Why? Because we never, ever communicated it. I expected my husband to go to Leona Carter University with a master's degree in me and know exactly what I need. Well, it doesn't work that way. And so once I understood that we had to celebrate what we had without stumbling over what we didn't have. And because of that, we did number 2. We had to choose to be reconciled rather than be right. And for me, listen, I had a right to be upset. I had a right to have resentment in my marriage because, listen, after all, I was the problem. It was me. It was my wiring. It was my health that has us in this situation. But we had to celebrate each other where we are on our journey to becoming what we wanted to be as a couple. And so when I chose to be reconciled rather than be right, it changed everything. And then we also had to realize that we are on the same team. We're on the same team. And because we reminded each other that we're on the same team, then we did number 3. Start dating again and getting to know who we are again. We had to start dating again and getting to know who we are again. Because I was this wife that expected my husband to show up in a way that I didn't even communicate to him. But at the same time, I expected my feelings to lead the way to emotionally and intimately and physically and sexually connecting with my husband. And when the emotions and the feelings never kicked in, I never felt like I wanted to connect. And if you realize that, a sexless marriage is not a healthy marriage. And so I knew that God had something greater for me in my marriage. And so I knew that my marriage was bigger than me. Listen, when I was struggling, I would never have said that, right? But I knew my marriage was bigger than me. And now, because of implementing these three keys and more, I now wake up to the marriage of my dreams. I mean, we've been married for 25 years now, but it wasn't until year 18 that we got the aha moment to really course correct and change, or we weren't going to see year 20. And so I'm here to tell you that, fostering intimacy in your marriage, I don't care how bad it is possible. And so thank you so much for allowing me to share my story with you. And I want you to know that you are not alone. I work with clients who in their marriage, they're dealing with erectile dysfunction, hormonal imbalance like me, health issues, blended family, infertility, infidelity. These are some of the barriers that affects your ability to build intimacy in your marriage. But you are not alone, and together we can foster the keys that it takes to live a happy, whole, and healthy marriage life. My name is Leona Carter. You can learn more about me and grab your free gift at leonacarter.club. And remember, women, wives, continue building intimacy in your marriage.